Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Jack, good morning. Or it's not morning here anymore. It's afternoon, early afternoon. Hello, Sid. And Jack says, hello, Mehran. Sid says, hello, lovely Mehran. Oh, yes, that's right. And Male 32 Estonia, Sid says, it's been a while since I came to your life. So, yeah, what are you, too good for us anymore? What's going on with you? Now you're a doctor now, and then we're no good anymore? You're not joining our live talks. Oh, I'm glad you're here. It's always good to see you guys. Well, of course I hope that I could see you guys, but nevertheless, I got to find out what's the difference between what we're doing and a podcast. Because I guess on podcasts you guys can talk and I can hear your voices, and everybody can. But here, so I wonder if I can make that happen. Anyhow, we've got our own fish to fry for now. Jack says, always first, always ready, always prepared. There we go. That's the soldier boy. That's who we are, aren't we? Let's see. And thank you very much, Jack. I'm good. Been busy with training the new puppy that I talked to you guys about, a new husky puppy. And it's a handful, especially now that she's growing bigger and bigger by the day. And last night, we went for a walk late at night. Like, not that late, but maybe, I don't know, 9 o'clock or something. Was it? Or no, 8 o'clock or something. And sure. And my knee not being that good anymore, so she was running and I was trying to catch up. So we played a lot, and sometimes I almost stumbled and fall because she was going around and I was going this way, and of course my knee is not that good, so it was funny, but we managed, we enjoyed, and then but it's in a mood of biting sometimes, so we are trying to train her to redirect her mind to command and to a treat, to understand this is not good, this is good. One of the most important thing that I believe I have learned, and I always, of course, try to abide by it by nature and by instinct, is that the dogs don't really listen to your words. They listen more, they feel more, your energy. So if you get frustrated and angry for something that she's doing that is not good, or you don't want her to be done, if you raise your voice for the same command, it wouldn't make that difference, but it would make a negative difference because she feels the anger, and then that kind of energy will come back. So in other words, at the time that you're most frustrated, you got to be calm in order for her to feel your calm and become part of the calm and settle down, rather than encouraging more of the energy of negative, the anger. Because as we know in Aikido, we say negative brings negative, positive brings positive, plus brings plus, negative brings negative. So the energy that is extended will regenerate the same kind of a quality of energy from the other side. It's true in everything, in human relations and everything, especially in dogs, because they really are not responding to your words necessarily, they're responding to your energy. You say the same thing in a calm manner, she'll respond in a calm manner. If you say it in an anger manner, she'll be confused. Why is it so loud? What's going on? I'm not deaf. So anyhow, that was kind of fun. David says, Mehran, hello Mehran, 24 Male 20 Texas, thank you for that. New chair, yes, that's a donation by my son. This is old chair. And I enjoy it because I can also fall asleep when I'm bored. These days I'm reading some stuff, special information about certain business that I do, so the legalities and all that. And sometimes you could get, need a nap in between. David says your video from 2 months ago has 43,000 videos. How did that happen? Well, that's my intro video that I'm advertising it, using it for YouTube channel. Like it goes on other YouTube channels and kind of introduces our channel. So it's an advertisement that is being put on other channels as they come online. Like we have advertisements on our channel when we come online, when we upload. So we are now one of the advertisers on their channels. So that's what's happening. It's an introductory thing. There's no particular thing other than letting everyone know who we are, what we do, and so on. Luna says, good evening, Mehran. Good evening, Luna. Where are you in the world now? What is it? Yemen? I'm sorry. Oman? Or UK? Or Greece now? Or France, possibly. you globetrotter. Sorry guys, let me check this. Okay. Anyhow, I don't know what that was. I can't figure it out till I'm finished here. So where was I? Greece, still Greece, yeah, okay. Female 35 Greece. And we have Gil Gates says, thank you, you're welcome. For what? Sid says, you are too good for me, always in need of your unparalleled wisdom. My pleasure. 2 more months till I'm a doctor. Good, 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 good. Rumbag says, hello Mehran, good to see you, dear. What's your husky puppy's name? Rain. Rain is the name. So, Rain and I were playing in the rain last night. Can we see a photo of her? Yeah, I would love to, but I don't know how to put the photo here. Maybe I upload one of the little, video shots that we take somehow. But if I knew how to put a picture up here, I'm still not good at these things. Luna says she sounds divine. She actually is quite cute, and just when you tell her to sit, and she sits so so politely, you just die. So cute, like a little kid. It's hard to believe that they're not little kids. Like, you expect them to understand the love that you give them. It's amazing, like when she's laying down and resting, and the first few days my son brought her home to his house, to his place. I was also laying beside her, just imagining this sentient being in this little energy is a live entity and learning. The whole world is amazing for her. First time we took her out after a few nights, maybe after a week or so, we took her out actually in the area. Everything was amazing for her. Wow! And if we put ourselves in the shoe of the dog, everything is new. All the sensations, all the noises, the cars, the things, everything smells. Wow! And so much love you want to give. And it the first time after first couple of days when I went back in there to visit her, she was going nuts, jumping around, happy to see me. It's just amazing feeling. David says, well, a podcast is usually auto streamed about from different sources. You would have to have some sort of call in system to have people call in. Have been another channel here on YouTube do it. I've seen another, yeah, I gotta learn that. Steven, so sorry I haven't gotten back to you. I haven't forgotten, Steven. I've just been quite busy with a bunch of things that I had to professionally attend to and personal stuff. But I was thinking about you last night, but it was too late. I was gonna do it this morning, and it just got a bit too late. Too many things to handle before I come online. But I will do it. Hopefully, maybe after the live talk, if I get around to it, it'll be very quick. I'll do it. And usually turnaround for the email questions to be recorded and answered and sent is very quick turnaround. But this one is a little bit just too many slots were occupied, so I will find the time and I'll do it. And Steven says, hello Mehran, Steven, male 39, Los Angeles, at work, so we'll try to watch as much as, okay, good. And Luna says, Mehran, there is background audio interference. Is there? Is there? Maybe there's too much. Maybe I should turn it down a little bit. Not bad. Is it outside? Is it like sound of cars and things, or what is it? Oh, audio is bad all of a sudden. Fuzzy? Okay, hang on. I'll disconnect and reconnect. Give me a moment, okay? Just one moment. I'll go to my control room. It's behind the computer. Hang on. Is it any better, guys? Is the sound better? Fix it? Okay. Good, good. See, I'm the engineer, broadcaster, moderator, director. Very talented. Can mechanic. Low budget production. So, what are we talking about today, guys? What you got to say for yourselves? Chris, hello, Chris. We got our friend from UK joining us. Says hello, Mehran. I've been seeing a lot of things to do. I've been seeing a lot of things to do with the men go their own way movement recently online. Men going their own way. What are your thoughts on it? Actually, I have my thoughts in a video on that subject, which it will be elaborate to talk about it here, but I'm going to refer, if I can find it here. Maybe I'll talk about it a little bit, but I'm not sure if it's just. Um, I know when I put this title of Men Go Their Own Way, it limited the advertisement ability for the video. I don't know that. I wonder why. Hmm. It's a video I did a while ago in that regard. But I don't know what the title of it was. Nope, can't find it. But I know it was an elaborate discussion that I separated it. Maybe I can find it for you guys. While you guys put your questions together, I can look for this for you. All right. Anyhow, what I think, first of all, I don't remember really exactly what they mean and what they say, what they're all about, but I have an idea. I think they. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. Maybe some of you can explain to me what do they mean, and I can make a comment. Because I did research them to see what they say, what their general idea is, and I made a comment on that. But right now, I don't have that in mind. That are they? What says you say the YouTube are trying to clamp down on? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I changed the title of my, but it was already too late. But honestly, I don't remember what they're all about. That's the problem to make the comment again. But I did look them up, and I did make a video on it as a response because somebody else asked that question, and that's why. Okay. Maybe I should look it up what it is. What do they say? It says Men Going Their Own Way, MGTOW, is an anti feminist, mostly online community advocating for men to separate themselves from a society which they see as harmful to men, and particularly to marriage and cohabitation. Shoe marriage and cohabitation. It's nonsense. That's what I have to say about that. It's nonsense because big big problem that is the source of these problems, that men and women don't get along or whatever conditions they have in their relationships. It's not because one of them is a man, one of them is a woman. It's because their consciousnesses are different, and men don't seem to understand women are not the same woman as 1,000 years ago, and women don't, and they should have more respect for the woman because they're much more capable and wise and educated and smart, and they can do almost bar their physical parts anything that a man can do. Why not? It's all about intelligence, because our shape and form is just apparatuses, it's just peripherals that we can access things and do things and perform things that our consciousness is directing it. So the consciousness has the same ability in man and woman, can be trained and capable of doing the same things and become as powerful and focused as each other. There is no difference in the ability of the consciousness. Now, physical and then peripherals that we have, they all do the same thing. Can do the keyboard, can grab something, run, look. Again, the same. Only physical strength is different, and in some cases women are stronger than men too. So that is why women and men may not get along, because of the differences in the content of their consciousness, which is the same in any two people. Even two people growing and raised in the same family will have different consciousnesses, different understanding, different outlook of things, and there are differences, conflicts, and divisions are created between siblings, between people in the same group, the same society, even they grew up in the same block, they'll be different. All the things they've been exposed to during their lifetime has made them who they are, plus some of the programmings and characteristics transferred to them through their genes from 1,000 years ago. So men should realize that women today are not the women of 1,000 years ago. They have amazing capabilities and exactly the same, and in many cases better abilities in sciences and whatever else it could be, in decision making than men. And in some other cases, men have better decision making and abilities and smarts and wisdom than women, depending on who that individual is and what and how they've been trained. It's not about the gender; it's about their conditioning, their attention to training and what they've learned, what they've focused on, what they've been exposed, and so on and so forth. And also, women should realize one of the reasons that there's conflict and division between the two is, one, that men doesn't realize women are not the woman 1,000 years ago, and we just talked about their changes, positive changes, and women also don't seem to realize that men love women because they are women. When they try to become man or try to compete with man, then men kind of wonder, how could they be interested in something that is not proud of who she is as a woman, because being a woman is so special. We heterosexual male adore women. We love women because they are different, because they're women. We won't be able to be attracted to a woman who is not who she is in her genes programmed to be. And she wants to be different. So it kind of is a turn off in a way of intellectual or traditional or programmed in the genes how we are set out to be attracted to each other or not. So if women and men each be who they are, while they're both equal in abilities, capabilities, wisdom, smarts, learning abilities, teaching abilities, contribution, accomplishments, then the relationship is only working or not working based on the compatibility in their consciousnesses, bonding on consciousness level, how unselfish and caring they are about each other, how they want to learn and tolerate and compromise, how serious they are in building something together, versus we want to get together, but I want to dominate the whole thing. And the woman says, no, I'm going to resist and I want to be dominating. And the man says, no, I am the man because traditionally I used to hold the sword and I would go hunting. And it's all that bullshit comes to the picture, and they don't even see each other, who they are, what they want to build, what they want to be to each other. And suddenly they become political, as if they have come together to prove a point for a cause, for the benefit of whatever is out there who's being let's say bullied or controlled, rather than they focusing on who they each are and how they can coordinate life together, how they can build things, how they can be in harmony with each other, how they can help to build that family as equal partners while they are very different. That difference is why they've come together. If they were not different, they would not be attracted to each other. While they're equal partners in abilities, capabilities, wisdom, smarts, and all the other things that we talked about, but they are still, it is important to keep their differences. There are certain things that a man can do better. There are certain things that a woman can do better. And you know, ifs and buts about it. There's certain things that a man cannot do as good as a woman. It's just not built that way. And there are certain things that the woman cannot do as good as the man because they're not built that way. They don't have that, each one of them are special. It's just like saying, I don't know, two different equipment, and they all should be the same because they're all made out of metal, or they are equipment, or they have ability to be programmed. No, they're programmed for different things. They look different. They maybe in some cases they think different. Their emotional stages and understanding and sensitivity is different. So recognizing that man and woman are equal today, but also parallel to that, we must recognize that man and woman are different in many ways. And that's the beauty of it. I mean, a heterosexual male, I would love a woman because it's a woman. It's not a man. I'm not interested in a man. I'm interested in a woman. So I want to see a woman. And that womanhood needs to be preserved by the woman while she's equal and capable in everything else in life. But that doesn't mean just because she's equal and expert in everything that she wants to be and capable just as a man is, she should also become as a man and lose her femininity, her beauty, her speciality. What that makes the world go around is all about women. And that is what I think men cherish, and women should also cherish, and not let it go away by simply thinking, oh, I gotta become manly in order to, But in certain circumstances, women don't have any choice but become a little bit manly, because the environment around them is so unfair and so stupid, dominating, bullying by men around them, so they would have this resistant and this defensive posture all the time, because if they didn't, they would be insulted, they will be dominated, they would be deprived from opportunities. So these are also the fears that women have, that they turn into something other than what their real nature wants them to be. That femininity, that beauty, that sensitivity, that nurturing characteristics, that everything that we heterosexual men adore about a woman, it goes out of the picture because women are being pressed and oppressed by the society of men, so they have to defend themselves, and in the process they lose that what we all love. So we as men must protect the right of women, must protect everything that a woman wants to do and be capable of and is capable of doing, must make sure that she has all the opportunities and chances, to protect them even from our own selfishness. Then a female will have, women will not have any reason to be afraid to be who they are, because I'm sure they love to be who they are, but they're being forced to become different than what their real nature is in order to combat the unfairness that is surrounding them in many different venues. So I think this men go their own way is just bullshit. It's just lack of understanding that what really is being done to women. But at the same time, women should not take that as a given that in every situation they have to be defensive, because if they leave that environment that is being oppressive and go to a different environment when it's not oppressive and free and kind and warm and equal, then they should resume to be who they are. I mean, how would women feel if a heterosexual male that they're interested in would be, acting feminine, because they feel that in a female society they have to be like female in order to get the rights or to get the things that they want, the opportunities that they deserve. They lose the whole interest. I mean, women will start looking at them as, well, that's not what I like. A heterosexual female likes a man to be a man, right? There are characteristics that they like. That's why we like each other, Men love women, women love men, heterosexual male love heterosexual women, and vice versa. So anybody who is programming their genes according to their gender loves the opposite of that, I guess, or whatever the programming of their system is, they love that programming in somebody else. But in this case, I'm just talking about heterosexual male and heterosexual women, and that would be perhaps my credentials to talk about. I'm not that, I'm not able to properly explain or express other views. But in this case, I think we men love women because they're women, and women love men because we're men. There are differences that makes us love each other. If we try to be feminine when we are heterosexual male and we are, interacting with heterosexual female, I don't think they would be interested. And same thing, romantically they wouldn't be interested. Same thing, if we see a female who is rugged too much more and become more manly, and all that beauty that we love is not surrounding her anymore, so obviously she has her choice, she can do whatever she wants. But then there wouldn't be that interest for a certain kind of heterosexual male who's looking for that certain kind of a heterosexual female, and then nobody can complain because they can do what they want to do, but they also won't get the interest of certain kind of man. And the men can do whatever they want to do, but they won't get the interest of certain kind of women. So it's all about, I guess, the balance. So there's nothing wrong for women to be who they want to be, what they want to be, how they want to live, what they want to choose. There's nothing wrong for women to do, for men to do whatever they want to do, as long as they're not, neither one of them are abusive, trying to take away the right of the other, and trying to say that I'm the only one who deserves all these benefits or this and that. Then we're going on a different tangent, which is just brings chaos and bullshit and nonsense, unfairness, and that is not what men or women should be at all. Anyhow, I don't know if I did address it or not. You guys can tell me. Did I address it or did I not? Just say yes means I did, no means I don't. Come on, give me feedback. I don't know if you guys understood what I was trying to say. David. You're a disaster, David. Wolf says, I think so. I only came in halfway. Well, damn it. I can't repeat it. I'm just going to upload it. Short or long is men go their own way is bullshit. Women are everything they want to be, they can be. They're equal to men in every way, but their sex, of course, because that's exactly why what makes things really interesting. And so I think women must be loved, respected, adored, and they are capable, as men are, to accomplish anything they want to accomplish, wise, smart, expert in anything they want to be. And the whole beauty of the thing is that they are equal and capable, but they're also different. And that difference should also be preserved. As much as we focus on the equality of it, the difference also should be focused on and preserved, because that is what makes the whole thing go around. Casanova says, hello, Mehran. Hello, everyone. Hello, Casanova. Good to see you. Well, what happened? There were only 6 people, and I talked so long, and nobody has responded. What am I talking about then? Why am I here? Chris says, I think the laws are against men in a divorce. It can cripple a man financially for years to come. I think the law need to be changed now that women are also out working. It's not like it was 30 years ago. That's true. There are certain modifications that has to be taking place, because the laws were done in the time that it was a whole different ballgame as far as traditions and expectations and the role of man and woman. It was all limited to something. Now that it's unlimited, everybody is equal. Therefore, such divorce laws should also change to reflect the changes of time and opportunity for everyone and protection for everyone. Chris says, they say that 50% of marriage ends in divorce these days. I'm not sure if I'm been pushed towards these videos from my breakup. Yeah, well, 50% is maybe, but in the long run, not right away. Lucas Kowalski says, Lucas, male 31, Poland. Sir, hello, Lucas. Good of you to join us, as I want to ask you how to get rid of constant fear of sudden death. Oh, it pulls me back in taking efforts of achieving my goals. Cause I feel it's pointless and can be stopped anytime. Yeah. So why do you eat your lunch or dinner fully? Why do you start eating it? I mean, you can die in the middle, right? So why should you even make a full course? Make a little bit. When you prepare your food, just make a little bit, because who knows? Why should you make the whole thing? Maybe you won't be able to finish it. Huh? Isn't that the same as life? But you still make a full effort to make the best food that you can, and you can enjoy most delicious quality, in order, because you expect that if you're going to be surviving, you need good nutrition to grow and to be able to be sharp, energetic, and so on. So in preparation for that, in the hope for that, in the expectation of that, you will take good care of yourself. Your good food, good amount, good ingredient. You do your best. Otherwise, what's the use of eating? Because you expect and you hope and you want, you desire this to continue. So you take good care of it. So same thing. You take good care of yourself the best you can, and if you die, you die. It's not something we should worry about, because we can't do anything about it. I don't know what the future, maybe I'll die right now, who knows? But I still gonna make sure that the words come out my mouth would be proper. Why? Because that's who I am. I don't care when I die, when I don't, how long I live or not. I'm gonna live it in the way that I am, and I prefer it to be. The image I have of myself, what I would like to contribute to the world, how I would like to be known, how I would like to express myself, and how I would like to affect the society in the energy that I feel it's becoming of me, and it's deserving my existence on this world. The difference I want to make. You know? The contribution I make. Regardless of how long I'm going to live, even if it's one day, I'm still going to be me. So who are you? You are the person who wants to accomplish this, that, and the other. That is who you are. So do that as long as you are alive. You don't know how long, maybe 100 years, maybe 2 years, doesn't matter. But live as who you are. And who you are is a person who wants to do this goal, that goal, accomplish this task, contribute there, say this, write that, and influence this and that and so forth. That is who you are. We live as who we are. You know? I mean, if that was the case, if you look at the history of human being, we have come thousands of years. What are the chances that the human being as a species will stop being because we think it's possible? Or look at the 1,000 years ago history that we didn't stop being, we continued thriving and developing and advancing, and we have now come 1,000 years ago. So what are the chances that we will go on another 1,000 years? Is more chances that, looking at the back, the history, that we will continue as it has happened before, so it will happen again and continues to happen, than thinking that, no, it will all stop and finish. Same thing with our lives. Your parents who lived to be a certain age, your ancestors lived to be a certain age, your neighbors lived to be a certain age, your family, and so on and so forth. So what are the chances that you will also go a while? We don't know when, but a while. Good chances, right? So on that premise, you will do your best even if it's one day left. Because you don't know. So because you don't know, why do you think you don't know that you will not die, and you don't know that you will die, right? So why is it that you go on for the 50% chance that you will, and you ignore the 50% chance, which is equal chance, that you won't and you will have a long life? What makes you think? It's a negative mind that comes into picture. The reason you think that way has nothing to do with reality and facts. If you really want to consider reality and facts, you will see that there's a lot more chance for you to live a long life than not, because that's how it's been in the past. But when the negative mind comes into the picture, you try to protect what you have because you love your life. And whatever you love your life, your negative mind attacks that, makes you fearful of losing what you love. With everything that we love, with every pleasure, there's a pain. With everything that you love, there's a fear of losing it. With everything that you want, there's a suffering, which is, in a way, fear of losing it. So instead of focusing on the 50% negative, focus on the 50% positive, if it's really totally unknown. But if you really look at it, there's a lot more percentage of positive that you will have a long life than the one that is not. Why? Because if you look at it, all the diseases and things that was in the past is not there, other than this this new disease coming from China, which is scary. But if you look at the nutrition is better, medicine is better. So all the things, shelter, safety, all the things, civilized world, all the things that was not available in the past is now changed to better. So if we lived that long then, we should be able to live longer now. So if you really think about it, it's a lot more percentage than the chances of for you to survive and have a long life than a short life. So if anything, you should be trying to take advantage of this whole amazing opportunity and accomplish as much more plans and things that you want to accomplish, rather than sitting around and say, what if I don't? Well, what if you hadn't done anything up to now? Where would you be now? And you're still alive. If you would have thinking this way from, I don't know, day one, and you wouldn't have done anything, you would be in the gutters now, have nothing to eat, nothing to do, because you always said, oh, what's the use? But you see that it didn't happen. So might as well. Get your ass up, get your gear, and accomplish as much as you can in this world, as long as you're alive, and take good care of yourself to increase those chances, which are already good chances to begin with. All right. Okay. All right. Let me just take a short break. All right. Uh-huh. Casanova says, you're here as a blessing. Well, thank you so much. I don't think too many people know that, because there's only 9 of us here. So I think I'm the, if I am what you say I am, which is appreciated, very kind of you. Thank you for the kind words. But I'm the best kept secret on YouTube, I guess, because nobody knows about us. Alec says, 25, Kansas. Oh, no place is better than Kansas. Let's go home, right? Well, I forgot what was the name of that. Dorothy from Kansas, yeah? What was it? I forgot the name of it. Wizard of Oz, right? Is it Wizard of Oz? I'm having trouble meeting women, Alex says. Join the club. So so every time I approach a girl, I get rejected. Well, that's the way it is. When you get rejected by women, or the woman who perhaps don't share what you have in mind, like they're not in the mood, maybe they're already involved, or maybe they're not interested, and that's okay. Who says that everybody should be interested in me? Why? They have different tastes. I mean, do you go to a clothing store and there's only one kind of clothing there? No, because there's so many people with different tastes. But that doesn't mean that this kind of a clothing that is hung on the rack here is not chosen by that person. It means this clothing that is not chosen is not good looking. No, that person doesn't like it, but another person likes it. So there is no way of thinking just because this person didn't buy this clothing on the rack was rejected, therefore this is actually a reject product. No, it's rejected by her taste and her need, but it's not rejected as a quality. Same thing, you're rejected, so rejected. Rejected by who? Who died and left her in charge that if she rejects you, then you're no good? She rejects you just like, I don't know, the spaghetti, as I always use that analogy. Some people don't like spaghetti. Does that make a spaghetti bad tasting? Or not nutritious anymore? Or not loved by others? No. Spaghetti is still spaghetti no matter if you like it or not. Somebody doesn't like it, spaghetti is delicious, still delicious. It doesn't change its deliciousness, nutritional values because somebody didn't like it, or was allergic to tomato, or didn't like pasta, or whatever it was. Spaghetti is still used and eaten by millions around the world and is still loved and delicious, regardless of who does like it or not. So think of yourself as spaghetti. You reject it, so what? That person doesn't know what the good thing she's losing. Spaghetti is still a spaghetti and loved by others. So, having said that, don't worry about rejection. That's part of the game. And he says, I know I'm not an attractive person. All women don't really necessarily look like we are looking at women, like we're looking for attractiveness based on what we think attractive is, because every woman is beautiful. It just depends on who thinks this is or is not beautiful. But every woman is beautiful. And you have to understand that women do not look at men the way we look at women. They're not looking for that beauty or aesthetic beauty. They're looking about the feelings and the energy and the discussions and consciousness bonding and the things that you guys can build together, plus the attractiveness to each other. But mostly women are looking at the content of the consciousness. What you're providing, the security, what you can build together, how you make her feel, how you make her feel secure, how you interact with her, how fair you are, how understanding you are, how the communication goes. This is what women are looking for, not what you're looking for in women. By that premise, you will lose the chances of actually knowing that you have lots to offer, and that women are not looking at your necessarily look that in your opinion may not be what you consider good looking, but in the opinion of the women, many women may be actually looking for the way you look. How do you know? Tastes are different. And at the same time, it is not your aesthetic physical look that makes you handsome. It is how you're built inside your consciousness that affects the women and that make you look good or good looking. Look, if you look at a picture of a youth of a man on death row, a man on death row, if you look at his picture of his youth, you will see he was so handsome. But now, for the life of crime and the negative lifestyle, that handsome look has changed into something that is no longer handsome. But if you look at a picture of a scholar, a musician, scientist, a good doer, one who cared about human beings and humanity, human values all his life, you see a handsome man. But you look at his picture, his youth, you will see he was not handsome. But through a lifetime of positive energy and good ki, the whole aura, the whole look transformed into a handsome man. So if you're handsome and you have a life of crime, that look can change to ugly. And if you're not so handsome, but a life of good and good energy and good intentions, goodwill, good conduct, good accomplishments, that look will change to a handsome one. So live your life properly, be helpful and kind, have a good lifestyle, proper lifestyle. Even that, what you're antagonizing, which you shouldn't, but you're doing it, your looks, will change as well, and you will be as handsome as you would want to be in the eyes of the woman who would like you, because of the relationship is between the energies and who you are in your consciousness, not with how you look. And remember, many women look amazingly beautiful and their partners are handsome men, but they get divorced and they break up. Why? Because the relationship is not taking place between the looks, it's taking place with what's in between the looks, in the consciousness. What makes that look tick is what the relationships are based on. Your consciousness, who you are, your center, your personality, your persona. That is what attracts two people toward each other. And so for you, you should have no worries. Endow yourself with proper manners and proper life skills, and you will see the result would be a woman that you love and you like, and your choice, your liking, and she will like and love you because of who you are, not because of what you look like. And even your look like will become more handsome than any other man to her because of the way you are, and because of the way you have advanced and developed, and the way you treat her, communicate with her, understand her, build together. The energy is all that what is important in a relationship. All right. Casanova says, how to get out of the thinking that my ex's life is better than me. Better for who? Better for her? Or by the way, guys, don't forget, I need the gender, age, and and where you're tuning in from. So Casanova, do me a favor, put in gender, like male, female, or whatever your gender is signified with, and age, and which country you're tuning in from. Then I would be able to at least know a little bit how to respond to questions. And Wolf of Sparta says, yeah, coronavirus, that's right. And Wolf says, I have a ex-girlfriend who lives in China, I'm really worried about her at the moment. Yeah, it is a worrisome time. Definitely, so many innocent people around the world are being affected. And again, all because of lack of consideration and hygiene in our professional behaviors. And all of these things, SARS and this one, all seem to be started in some slaughterhouse or some market, meat market, fish market, or whatever the market it is. Lack of hygiene, lack of proper understanding, lack of caring for other human beings, disposal of feces or whatever it is. I don't know what started, but this is what I heard that started there, and I don't know how it started. But anyhow, I would think that everybody is worried about in life, and like if we don't have enough things to worry about, now we got to worry about something that is man-made. For heaven's sake, what the hell is it that you're attempting to do in the way you handle food, or you handle, I don't know, meat or fish, or the sanitary situation that causes such an amazing negative effect on the world? Whoever, however, wherever is being responsible for these sort of things, gotta be responsible, goddammit. I mean, we're all supposed to help each other, not to be so bloody careless to do whatever the hell we want to do because it's easier, it's cheaper, and then put the whole world at risk. And I hope everybody would recover. I hope everybody would be safe. I hope everybody will get rid of this eventually, as soon as possible, and the whole world get back to It's regular worries. Casanova says, male 25, Pakistan. Okay. And so he says, I would get rid of thinking, well, my ex's life is better than me. So what? So her life is better than you. She's a woman. Her life is different than yours. The life that she wants is not the life that you want. Yeah? So what's better to her doesn't mean it's for you. And who cares? Who is she that her happiness or unhappiness, having a better life than you, would make you your life limited to something? You can still have a great life based on your feeling and emotions, what you accomplish in your life, regardless and independent of how some other people are feeling or not. Well, you know, if you want to go that way, then there's so many other people that your life is superior to them in 1,000%, millions of times. Well, are they supposed to be all sad that your life, somebody's life is better than their life? There's always somebody's life's got more stuff in it, but being good or bad, that's got nothing to do with the stuff or the things that they do or provisions that they have. It has to do with the way you think about yourself and about your life. What is it that you expect? You're responsible and in charge of making your life happy. Well, deal with it and make it happy. And the first thing you want to do is don't worry about how happy your ex is. That's a worry you don't need to have. You focus on how your life is, not how her life is. It's an ex. Wish her well and wish yourself well. Respect yourself well and go on and build your life the way you like it, rather than sitting around saying, oh, my life would be good if she's miserable. My life would be good if she's not having a good life. And my life will be bad if she's having a better life. What the hell is that? Why don't you get off your ass and go do whatever you got to do to make your life being what you want it to be, rather than hoping that somebody else's life would have an effect on yours this way or that way. And she may be going to parties and out with friends. So what? How many people has gone to parties in this life? 100 times? Where does it say that if you go to parties 100 times you have a good life? Where does it say if you go to parties 1,000 times you have a great future? Where does it say if you don't go to parties you have a great future? None of them. You go to party, you go to party. What is that? What does that do? You come out of the party. Are you richer? Are you better? Are you what? Wiser? Finished your schooling, studies? And Casanova, you got to tell me how old you are. What, 25? Oh, okay, see, 25. Oh, come on. At age 25, you got so many opportunities ahead of you. Go build something out of yourself. Focus on yourself. And you will have more opportunities to attract women of the kind that you're hoping and you expect. And stop being weak, thinking that your life is summed up in this woman that is your ex, didn't want to be with you anymore. So big deal. Respect her, wish her well, and go on and build your own life to a level that she would envy when she finds out what you have become. If that's what really bothers you. But you shouldn't even give a damn. Just focus on your life. If she's happy, be happy for her. Great. Let her be happy. And you go and be happy yourself. My life is okay, but when I'm out with friends, I start imagining only if she was here. Ah, yeah, okay. It goes away. Yeah. You find another one. Focus on your life, then you will not be focusing on her. What's most important thing in your life? Your life, not her life. You're not together anymore, so focus on what makes you successful in your life, accomplish in your life, which is your studies, which is your job, which is your future, which is worrying about what you and what kind of person you're becoming or you've become, and stop limiting yourself that the opportunity only exists if you're with this girl. Oh, what does she bring to your life? Just her physical being? That's it? That's very low expectation of a woman of today. You have to have more respect for women. So, for that, you got to expect something far more than this one was offering, which means you got to go build yourself to a higher level, accomplish your tasks, become someone that you like yourself much more, when you like yourself through your accomplishments, you will have certain kind of a confidence that you will be able to benefit from it by others feeling that confidence because it comes from a good place. Accomplishments, achievements, making yourself a good, better person. And then you feel good about yourself. Others will be drawn to you because you feel good about yourself, because you're a good person, and that will all be fine. You're just 25 years old. Don't worry about it. This just was a warm up for you to feel what it is to be in a relationship, what it is to be in a breakup situation. Yeah, what you're feeling is normal. It's not a pain. It's just normal. That's how it is when you break up. Don't worry about it. What was coronavirus? Yeah, okay, we did that. Lucas Kowalski says, "Thank you, Mehran. I will concentrate on who I am and what I want to achieve, no matter what. I try to do my best. Thanks for your wisdom. My pleasure." Steven says, "What's the best advice for not worrying about the future and having doubt at times, Mehran?" The advice is that you have no choice. And just imagine if you have doubts, would that help you to go on? Like imagine if you're in a race, a track race. You're in a track team, you're chosen by your country or however, you're in a track team. How does it help you if you doubt about, oh, can I win? Can I not? Can I go fast as I want? Would my shoe will hold, or can I have enough energy to finish the race? All that goes through your mind while you're at the starting line. Does that help? If you think that way, it doesn't, does it? What you need to do is be ready, focused, and determined to do your best in that span of the time that race is going to take place. Do your best. That's all you should be focused on. You shouldn't focus about what doubt I should have. You should be focusing about how best I can focus to finish this as best as I can to the best of my abilities. That's all. And you do that, you'll not have time to worry about doubts. Because obviously, while you're thinking of it, the others just ran ahead and you're just wondering, oh, should I run fast? Or can I run fast? Would I be able to run faster than these guys? Or would I not? You're going to do what? A calculation. By the time you're done, they're finished the line. So don't lose time. Focus on what it is that needs your attention and pay the attention to that. Don't worry about the doubts. The doubts are there. There's 70,000 thoughts in our heads every day. And most of them are bullshit. So worry, if you're supposed to pay attention to all those bullshit, you'll never have a time to accomplish anything based on the good thoughts that you have. So the bad thoughts, negative thoughts, doubtful thoughts are there all the time. You simply got to pass by. Just like you're walking on the street, you will see dog shit, you will see garbage, you will see vomit, I don't know, spit here and there. What do? You look at each one of them. Oh, what is it? No, you just focus on the clear road and put your steps on the good parts and keep on going. That's what you should be focused on. Not paying attention to the negatives and the garbage. You focus on the good, you focus on the capabilities, you focus on the open road, and you take the road and keep going. That's what you do in order to get to your destination. Otherwise, the distractions will stop you, and these negative thoughts are distraction. Look, why do you think the horses on horse races, they have these blinds on their eyes? Have you seen them? Some of them have these blinds so they can only see ahead. That's because they're smart horses. They're capable of paying attention and curious about many things. So if they can see everywhere, as they usually are without those blinders on, they'll be focused on that. What is that? Ooh, let's go check that out. Ooh, what is that? And before you know it, all the other horses have finished the race. But if they put their blinders on, they can only focus on that one road, task that is ahead of them. To just run, focus their energy on that one task without being distracted. And then they will do their best job, and whatever their effort is will, they will reap the benefit of it. Same thing in your life. These doubtful thoughts are those things that are distracting you, which you're supposed to put the blind on and focus on the good thoughts and ignore the bad thoughts and keep on going as fast as you can, focused on what it is that you enjoy doing. The rest of them will disappear and dissipate and decimate by themselves because of what you're focusing on. Not because you're focusing on the distractions and think, how can I kill the distraction? How can I get rid of the distraction? While you're thinking about how to get rid of the distraction, you're thinking about distraction, which is you're distracted. But if you focus on the things that needs to be done, and it's open for you to do, and it's important for you to do to accomplish what it is that you set out to accomplish, then the distractions will disappear. All right. Wolf says, I believe the Chinese government have lost the mandate of heaven in history. Chinese dynasties fell because of natural disease and epidemics. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in that country. They're not really that. They've had too many incidents that could be avoided as far as the hygiene and so on. I guess everywhere in every country, human beings are susceptible to make mistakes, but and in such a big country, such a big population, I guess it's hard to avoid such mistakes. But it just means that they got to be more diligent because they've got bigger population and bigger possibility of shit like this happen. So maybe they should now increase, if they haven't learned from their last epidemic of SARS that was sourced there. They should learn it from this one, and hopefully the humanity will benefit from the cooperation of the whole world in such matters of taking responsibilities and taking their hygiene level to a higher level in every country, so these sort of things would not happen. And Rumback says, male 37, Sweden. I've been single now for 2 months. Being lonely is starting to get to me. No, come on. Not being lonely doesn't mean you have a girlfriend. You cannot be lonely if you understand life, what things are there to, opportunities are there for you to explore. If you sum up life into pleasure and then sexual and intimacy pleasure, then you will always think that you will be lonely if you don't have a girlfriend. But if you understand life is not just about sex, while it seems that way to us, most of us, from early on in teenage life, it's all about sex, pleasure, sex, which is just the way we are. We can't help it. But we gotta bring our focus to the fact that life is really not about all that. Why? Because when we get older, we may still think the same way as we did at a young age about women, and we love and adore and want to be involved with them in a relationship, have sex, intimacy, and all that. But through your life, you have realized there's so many other stuff that are also very interesting and very worthwhile to explore. Learning things, new things, developing things, accomplishing things, projects that you want to see through, the assistance that you want to get, the help that you want to bring to life, to others, and the things that you want to accomplish. They all become an amazing circle of happiness for you, that you can expand your horizons and your abilities to try to help all these things to come to fruition, make positive influences in the world, and you see life as a whole, as its entirety, rather than just a fragment of life opportunities to become representing the whole entirety of the life. Pleasure, sex, girlfriend, everything that life has to offer is that. And if I don't have it, then I don't have everything. It's not correct, is it? When you don't have a girlfriend, you agree that it is not that you don't have everything. You still have many things, you just don't have the girlfriend, right? But when you have a girlfriend, you think, oh, I have everything. No, you still got to work and make money and do things. So really, in both cases, whether you have a girlfriend or you don't have a girlfriend, when you have a girlfriend, you don't have everything. When you don't have a girlfriend, that doesn't mean that you don't have everything. At all times, it's only limited to the girlfriend. You have a relationship or you don't have a relationship, but you still have other things that is happening in the world for you, and you can make the best out of your life and notice and focus on how many amazing things are available in life that you will come to learn and come to love and come to be busy with at later ages in your life. But it would be wonderful to recognize it from this age that being in a relationship, having a girlfriend, is a fragment of the entirety of the experience of life, not the whole entirety of life. Because if you think of it as a whole entirety of life, then when you don't have a girlfriend, you think you've lost the entirety of life. When you have a girlfriend, you think you have the whole life. And then you become lazy to do anything else. Oh, I have a girlfriend, so there's nothing else I got to do. And when you lose a girlfriend, you have made her to be the entirety of life, then you think you've lost the entirety of life. You'll be totally depressed and sad. Instead, give a proper number to everything in your life. A girlfriend, a fragment, it's important. But when I don't have it, well, that's all right because we didn't get along and I will have another one later. Realistically. But don't think, no, I have the whole world now. No, I don't have anything now. Because that one thing was the whole thing about life. No, it's not. And as I said, when you get older, you will recognize there's so many other things in life that you would have liked to start learning and exploring earlier, but you didn't. Now you're in a rush to finish all those things that are interesting to you because now you have a little bit more wisdom and you have a little bit more interest and you have now sharing the whole totality of life in relationship and many other things, not just relationship as you did when you were much younger. So don't think that is the whole thing, that I don't have a girlfriend, therefore I'm sad, I'm lonely. No, you don't have to be. Just the way you chose to think of it, that if you don't have a girlfriend, then you must be lonely. No. Keep on focusing your life, building, do the things you like to do, and then you will, whether you want it or not, find another girlfriend anyhow. So, this is how do I get rid of this lonely feeling? Yeah, you're not lonely. To get rid of the lonely feeling is to recognize that when you think you're lonely, you're not lonely. You're just focusing on one thing and making that one thing to be the reason of your happiness or unhappiness and or loneliness or not loneliness. That cannot be. The one thing, a relationship cannot be representing the entirety of the experience of life. When you think of it that way, yeah, then you think you're lonely. Just like saying, oh, I have no food to eat. Why? Well, you've got chicken and you've got vegetables and you got bread and you got everything, but you don't have peanut butter. And to you, peanut butter is the whole. I don't have anything to eat. Well, you have. It's like people who say, "Oh, I don't know what to wear. I don't have anything to wear," and their closet is full of clothing. But there's that one thing that they would like to have, prefer to have it right now, is not there. They couldn't afford to buy that clothes. Therefore, they say, "I don't have anything to wear." Or that one peanut butter that you like, or the dish that you like, is not of it. Or I don't have anything to eat, because you're focused on that to be what you want to eat instead of focusing there are other things that you can eat. Until you have the opportunity to order that food or buy that clothes or have that girlfriend and stuff like that. So, Nicholas says, hi. What was it? Casanova says, thank you, Mary. Welcome. Steven says, great advice. Thank you. Nicholas says, hi, Nicholas 26 from Paris, France. Oh, bonjour, monsieur. Comment ça va aujourd'hui? I think that a good way to go through life is to be tough but kind, he says. But how can you toughen your heart? You don't have to toughen your heart. Who says you got to toughen your heart in order to be happy? You can be, you can enjoy your memories, but you don't have to be attached to the memories. It's two different things. Nicholas says not to be emotionally attached to people that can hurt you or not take things too personally. Well, it's pretty difficult sometimes when you try not to take things personally because it is to your person, so you take it personally. But in order for you to get over that is to not to perceive things. based on what has happened before and how you thought a certain circumstance would mean or should affect you or one, you will be influenced and affected by the stuff that happens to you because of the knowledge that you have in your memory that such influence, such instances should affect you in a certain way. In other words, you perceive your reaction and the effects of a certain situation on you based on what has happened in the past to you or what you have seen this in movies or to other things and how they have reacted and how it has been affecting them, and you are privy to that information. So when this happens to you, you recall what is in your memory, which is accumulated based on personal or general knowledge in your memory. It's stored there. And instead of focusing on what this situation is as what it is momentarily for that moment or for that duration, you take it and you don't focus on observing that as it's happening, that experience as it's an experience, a fragment of your life, and you perceive it as how it has affected you in the past or it has affected others that you have the memory of in your memory, and you bring that perception into effect to this newly developed situation, and you react the way that is in your memory rather than reacting to what is happening, which is a limited reaction. Could be a limited reaction. But you go deep and react the way that you are programmed or have a file, an emotional file in your memory as it affected you in the past or as you have seen it's affected others. Then you will bring that, overexpose it on this, and you react the same way or expect yourself or believe that you should also be hurt and react the same way as it is in your memory that you remember. Or you've been conditioned to think that these sort of situations must bring such reactions in me. Instead of just saying, okay, so what? I react this way, I feel this way. Why? Because I'm conditioned to think that way. I'm conditioned to react that way. But I don't have to react that way. Why should I react that way? Why should I feel that this is the end of the world? Why? Because I've seen it in movies. They break up, they cry, they go kill themselves, they go do these things. So I've heard these nonsenses, bad decisions, and then I'm thinking that's the only way I should be reacting, because everything we do is based on conditions we've received in our consciousness. But you should recognize that you're not bound to the conditions you received to your consciousness. You can free yourself from that. You don't have to react the way you do. Many of us react in a certain way over and over based on how we have reacted in the past, and it has become part of our programming in our consciousness, because the more we react in a certain way about certain situations in the same way that we did react before, the more the synaptic neurons create bridges of certain habitual, certain way of reacting. That becomes stronger. That becomes our reaction in default. We are engraving. Like the more you play piano, the more bridges between synaptic neurons are created for you to become a better piano player, the more you practice. The less you practice, those bridges that are created, that kind of a exchange of information between synaptic neurons will be destroyed and they will be severed, and then you will not be as good a piano player as you used to be when you would practice so much. Same thing here. When you keep behaving that way, reacting to a certain way in certain situations, you're reinforcing your programming that you should always react in this way, in such a miserable way, loneliness, if a breakup happens. Or do you have to be tough so you won't be hurt? Why? These are conditionings. It's not a heavenly script written. You just say, okay, I see it for what it is. It's a possible breakup. It's a miscommunication. It's not compatibility in consciousness level. Okay, then it's logical for us to not to be together. But that logic doesn't come into the picture. The only thing that you're focusing on is, oh, I'm losing a possibility of pleasure. And I desire that intimacy. And if she goes away, then I don't have sex, I don't have intimacy, I don't have that pleasure, and I don't want that. Therefore, I have to be upset because I'm losing pleasure. Rather than seeing that, why should I be so devastated? I don't have to. I've been conditioned to, but I don't have to. Instead of that I don't have to be attached to that kind of a perception, that kind of a reaction, because your attachment is not necessarily to that person. Your attachment that everybody talks about, in most cases, is to the reaction that you are programmed to react by you in your life. You're attached to a certain reaction. You're attached to a certain perception. You're attached to certain feelings. I must feel this way. I'm attached to feeling this way when such a thing happens. No, why should I feel that way? Why? If I were taught since 10,000 years ago to be oblivious in light of something happening, then I would be oblivious to it. But if I've been focused on, not having that from 10,000 years ago, pleasure of sex, intimacy, or relationship, or possession, or this is mine, then I should be angry, upset, go on a rampage. That's been conditioned in you. So now you're like that. But if it was different, you wouldn't. You'd be like a cucumber. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, we're not working out. Okay, great, bye-bye. But no, you don't focus on that logic. You focus on, what am I missing here? Intimacy, sex, which is not mostly your fault because you are programmed as a heterosexual male and heterosexual female, or whatever gender you are. You're programmed for wanting pleasure, sex, intimacy, and that is in the case of heterosexual male and heterosexual female, it's you're programming your genes for procreation. You're driving for that. You look at it at pleasure, intimacy, and sex, and so on. But also there is a underlying motivation behind it in your program, which is for procreation. You are geared for that. Your prime directive is to procreate, because that's how universe has put it into your genes in order to populate the earth. Otherwise, if that instinct wasn't there, animals wouldn't populate and nothing else, and plants and so on. That is part of the gene that want to procreate. A heterosexual male, heterosexual female, you also have this additional prime directive in addition to other reasons that you want to be together. So that part you can't help. But the other parts of conditioning, you're perceiving a reaction rather than just reacting based on what that circumstance is, not bringing all the other perceptions in your memory and overexposing it and adding to whatever it is affecting you now, and exaggerate that whole reaction to a different level, and then therefore suffer more. So you have made a big deal out of this, but how can I toughen my heart so I won't I won't be close, attached to people who could hurt me? Well, if that's the case, you can see, why should I use a knife to cut my carrots or my, I don't know, cucumber or whatever, orange, because it might cut my finger. Well, use it properly, carefully, and go certain ways, and then you see if it's about to cut your finger, pull it back. Don't push further. In relationship, the same. You see if it's working, great. If it's not working, pull back. Don't try to shove it in. Oh, it's not working. We're not for each other, but I gotta make this relationship work. No. It's like the same thing. You go to the ocean, you tiptoe, you go in a little bit more. Your feet still touches the ground. You go in. Oh, I don't feel it anymore. Okay, I'll come back. I understand that this is not for me. I'm not a good swimmer, so I shouldn't go to where it's too deep. But in relationship, it doesn't matter what it is, you still want to make it work. Because what? You're programmed for that intimacy. You want that. And that doesn't let you see anything else in the relationship. You just see that pleasure of desiring intimacy. Therefore, I go for it, regardless of where the hell it's taking me, what the kind of a person the other one is, what kind of habits that he or she is into it, what kind of a lifestyle they have. I forgo all of that. I close my eyes on all of that, but because I'm focused on the sex part, intimacy part. That wouldn't work, right? So if you understand where it doesn't work, you pull back, and then you won't be hurt so easily. One of the reasons we get hurt because we go too far before we really gauge it as we go in. You go, keep going, keep going, keep going without trying to see if your feet still reaches bottom of the ocean, and before you know it is, well, wow, where am I? I'm the place that I can only swim, I cannot walk, and it's hard to get back. Then it's tough. That's when you get hurt. And having said that, relationship, there's no accountability, there's no guarantee that you won't get hurt. And if you get hurt, so what happens? What gets hurt? Your image gets hurt. You don't get hurt. Nothing happens to you. The fact that I don't have this pleasure is bothering you. Otherwise, what hurt? Oh, my memories. I can't use my memories. I have this memory. Well, memories are dead. They don't exist. So if somebody doesn't want to be with you, well, make memory with somebody else, because those memories are no good anyhow. But you think memory is actuality. You think memory is life. That's why you want to hang on to your memories all the time. I gotta keep these memories. I gotta keep these memories because these memories are mine. No, those memories are exactly, in most cases, some cases are interesting and necessary, but those memories are exactly the reason that you missed the living life. You miss the actuality of your life because you're deep submerged into memory, and therefore you're missing the moment, you're missing the reality of life, actuality of life, the opportunity to make efforts in the moment of life. Therefore, what you call living is actually in death of the past, which is no good anyhow. That's why you shouldn't worry about all that, what you said here, possibly of getting hurt. That kind of hurt doesn't matter. Just imagine what other people are getting hurt around the world. That's a hurt. All right. Gotta have some tea, guys. Okay, we have 16 people here. It's time for me to plug the channel. As you all know, we are here to talk about breakups, relationships, divorces, and how to move on. We talk about thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego, human psyche, movement of mind. We talk about order, mechanical process, material process, and all the things that has to do with your persona, who you are, how you're put together, what you can be or want to be and could be and should be, and how you can alter your whole behavior and so on by knowing all these information. We have over 1,600 videos on this channel, which pretty much anything you can think of after a breakup under the sun, we've got a video on it. Pretty much, hard not to have. And we have about 500 live talks, which each live talks about maybe 10 or 20 questions. So we have like about 10,000, 5 to 10,000 extra points that we've talked about. So together it's about 11, 12,000 possible segments that could have been videoed or turned into one separate video. Plus, if the videos didn't help enough, which it will, and if the live talks wasn't enough for you, which it should be, you can go to my site, mind@seekstruth.com, click on Talk to Mehran via Skype, and talk to me via Skype, and we can explore what's concerning you on Skype, one-on-one. For every new client that books a 1-hour consultation, I throw in another hour complimentary. So we'll have 2 hours to begin with to explore what it is that's concerning you. There's also another service that the site mind@seekstruth.com has, which you can write and email a question, short question, not long one, not more than a page. And then I will record a 4 minutes to 8 minutes recording as an answer and send it back to you by email. That costs you a little bit, just not much. That's the alternative to the Skype talk, which is a different price, but it's elaborate, interactive, and involved, and of course, good enough time to explore sensitive matters. And of course, there are books that I've written that you can go on my site, mind@seekstruth.com, purchase them either in the way of print or ebooks, which is 1/10 of the price of the print, but the print is got its own characteristics. It's heavy. I have to pay a big shipping to anywhere in the world. Shipping is included in the price. And of course, I will sign it for you if you should desire that, and I'll send it to you. And there are other perks on the site that you can roam around it and see what's good in there and enjoy it and use it. So, having said that, now let's get back to after our station identification, we get back to our questions. And so, before we go forward, please, there's 16 of you. Let me see at least 16 likes here. Take a moment, click on likes. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're still unknown on YouTube, but I have heard thousands of times from many of you around the world that when you found this channel, which you don't know how you found it, it was late after your breakup or stumbled on it, accidentally found it, but when you found it, you swear by it, and you wondered why you couldn't find it sooner, because it has saved your life. Anyway, this is what I've heard, not making it up, but that's what I've been hearing over and over. So we need exposure, so click on like and share the videos in your social media. Help us to be known. Talk about it on, I don't know, chats and chat lines, or your school paper or school radio station or local news or whatever it is that you can promote us. Let them know we exist. Maybe they want to do an interview about this channel. I'll be more than happy to accommodate them. Having said all that, click on like and click on subscribe if you haven't, and thank you for that. Okay. So we answered Nicholas's question. 55 says, I can't sleep after the breakup. It's been a month since. Okay, 55, I need gender, age, and where you're tuning in from. Please, before I can respond, I got to know how old you are, guys. I don't know. Sometimes, I answer the question and the person is just 16 and 17, and maybe I would have modified it differently. So I need that protocol. Age, gender, and where you're tuning in from. And then I'll get back to your question 55. There it is. 55 says, female, 22 years old from Los Angeles. You see, this is very important for me, because by 55, I would have think you're 55 years old, because what do I know what that number stands for? Now I know you're 22 years old. Totally different situation. She says, I can't sleep after the breakup. It's been a month since the breakup, and I don't know how to manage that. Any advice? Yeah. It's been a month since the breakup. So, you still need to sleep. Focus on that. So listen, I want to sleep. I love to sleep. Sleep is good, makes me strong, makes me smart, and makes me feel relaxed. And the next day, I'm bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, ready to go to any challenge that life throws at me. And I need that. That's my fuel. It's like saying, well, I can't eat. Why can't you? You get hungry, you got to eat. So if you don't sleep for a while, guess what? You're going to be totally sleepy, and you'll eventually fall asleep. First of all, you got to realize that it's not the end of the world. So you break up. Big bloody deal. 22-year-old, you hardly know yourself, and you think the guy that you were with was everything you ever wanted in a man in your life, and that's now gone. How could it be? You hardly know who you are. At age 22, we all thought we know the world by the tail, but we learned better later on that, oh, really, then when I was 22, I didn't know much. But at 22, you don't think you don't know much. You think you know yourself very well. Therefore, you think you know the kind of man that you want very well, or the woman. But that's not true. It just seems that way, because that is the level of your understanding at that time. Based on that information, that knowledge of yourself, you think you know everything about yourself. Therefore, you know everything about the kind of partner that you want. No. That boy that you're with, 2 years later, you have changed to a different lady, different consciousness. You've evolved, and you say, well, really, I don't know. I don't want that kind of a man now. You may have wanted then when you were 22 years old, but now that you would be like 24, 25, you'd want a different kind of a boyfriend. That makes sense to you? It sure. Why? Because it's like everything else in our life. Age 19, age 20, you go to a shop and buy a certain kind of a dress, certain kind of a fashion is on, certain kind of a size you have, certain kind of a shape you have. You buy it based on that. But age 22, 23, you've grown, you're different. That whole design doesn't suit you well. You're a different lady. You like different things. Maybe fashion has changed. Maybe your size has changed. You buy different things, change. So does our consciousness. If nothing else, consciousness even changes much bigger and different and faster than anything else can. It's been shaping us through our life, that consciousness. What makes you think that you won't be continuously being shaped through your consciousness from now on as well? So if you think you like this boy because of this, well, you liked it because you're 22 and that's the age, and that's what you like at this age. But lo and behold, the good news is that you will not be like this 6 months from now or a year from now. You would not even consider this kind of a person. What? Because you're changing. That's the good news. Which means whether you want it or not, you will grow out of it. You will be fine. You will not even have to worry about it. Now you don't sleep, you're depriving yourself from something wonderful, which later on you say, why the hell did I not sleep? What was so big deal about it? Because later on you will see that, I don't care about that. I should have slept then. So bring that knowledge and wisdom of future that you will have now and sleep well and say, nothing will go wrong if I sleep. And I have time tomorrow to be miserable again, but let me be miserable when I've had full sleep. So I'll sleep and rest and relax and understand that by watching the videos that Mehran has on this channel about how to move on, why you miss your ex and all that, you just go on my playlist and look at the playlist, or individual videos on my search engine. Just put the word that you feel represents how you feel, and you'll have the videos that will help you to understand why you should not even care at this moment, or how you can handle it, how you can move on, how you can understand why you feel the way you do. And on that note, you will be comfortable, you will be reassured that everything will be fine, and it won't stay the way it is now. You won't feel the way you feel right now. It will all change, and you'll all be fine. And it's explained all those videos, which I can't do it now because there are like 1,000 hours of them. But you can choose the ones that you like. And one of the first ones that I recommend to you is that the one that I'm going to put the link here. All right. Here's the link. Here's a link for you. I suggest you watch this one, and then there are so many others that will help you not to worry about what you are worried about. 55. Lady Martini says, Marta, female, 25, Poland. Hello, Marta. Lovely to see you here, or the fact that you're here. And Marta says, I broke up with my ex because he had depression episodes that I didn't know he had. He rejected me completely and stopped the contact. I felt really low. Was my decision good one? Well, it's a very interesting question. If we want to look at it as a humanitarian one, then we got to say, oh, well, you, just because he had a depression, you didn't want to be committed to help him, and you abandoned him, and it makes you feel bad. But then again, if you want to think about it personally, well, everybody is responsible for their own life, and they each have their own challenges. You can't constantly be responsible for other people's challenges if you just got to know them. Why? Because the most important person in life to you is who? You. You can't expect somebody else to be the most important person in your life, because unless you are there, capable, healthy, and able, you won't be able to help anybody else. So when it comes down to it, and look at it that way, you say, well, I can't sacrifice my life for someone who has his own challenges, and I have my own challenges, because my challenges don't go away by just focusing on the challenges of my partner. I'll still have my own challenges. So is it selfish for me to say, listen, let me just handle my own challenges, because I'm not equipped to be able to take care of more challenges that I am capable of. Every single one of us in this world has a challenge. One of us has depression, one of us has a lack of job, one of us has, I don't know, lack of education, one of us has lack of this, one of us has a certain illness, one of us, we all have something that we are dealing with, or our families do. All kinds of worries and fears we have. So expecting someone to handle one more thing, which could be a big, hugest one on the other person's life, would mean I'm just adding another hugest one to my own many different challenges in life. And if you look at it that way, then you didn't make a bad decision. Especially that it was the outset of your relationship. You're just 25. It's not like you have a relationship for 10 years and now one of you gets ill and then you want to abandon. Well, that's not cool either. That's not the way it works. But it's just you're 25-year-old and you have a relationship. I don't know how long what the relationship was, and then you found out that this person has this illness or this condition, and you decided that you don't want to deal with it. You want to keep your energy for what it is that you may be facing in life, if anything, or not. But anyhow, at this age, you weren't ready for that, and it wasn't a committed relationship for so long to say that you had to do your best to help the other one. Well, in that case, then I think that's a reasonable decision, because you thought of yourself, and that's the instinct that we all have. And as much as it hurts us to think that we actually did this, that we abandoned, but at the same time, what choice do we have? If we don't have the power to handle more than what our own little life brings to us to handle, then we can't take on more than what we can handle. Especially, again, when you're so young at a relationship that was just a couple of months or a year. It's not like it was a committed relationship for so many years that you're asking this question. At the beginning of a relationship, you find out the person. It's like you get to go out with someone, and then later on you find out he's a drug dealer. Well, you say, I don't want to be with a drug dealer. Yeah. But of course, that one, it's not a good example, because even if you're in 20 years relationship and then you find out this drug dealer, you still got to make the right decision for yourself, which is, I don't know, pretty much, deal with it that you see fit. And if you make a decision to go on your own way, well, nobody could blame you. But that wasn't a good example. Maybe I should use a different example. It's like you got to know someone and you found out that he's a bookworm. He reads books all the time. He doesn't want to do anything else. No activity out there, no travel, no sports, or no conversation, no nothing, just that. Well, then that's the same as something else that you can't handle. It's not necessarily because he had depression. It's because the interaction that you were expecting from that relationship wasn't there. Whether it could be depression, or it could be focus on one thing like reading or studying, or maybe the person was into playing soccer all the time and doing nothing else. They're all the same because they're not bringing a total package. So whether it's an illness, whether it's addiction on one thing, like a sport or reading or just one activity, and that is the whole life of theirs, or influences their life in a huge big way, either way, they're all the same, and you may decide that you don't want to be with this person. So it's not just because the person had depression. What if the person had depression but still would have functioned in many different ways? You'd be okay with it. You deal with it. Yeah? Or if a person is playing soccer all the time but also playing lots of other things, or activities, other things, or have lots of time for you and so on, you'd say, oh, it's okay. Or many of us have all different kind of illnesses. Somebody has blood pressure, somebody has, I don't know, cholesterol, somebody has heart challenge, or somebody has, I don't know, his knee doesn't work well like mine. So we all have something to deal with. You just don't want to have something that um, uh, um, hinders the possibility of having a full relationship. That's pretty much maybe why he left. Because even if he did have depression, but he would be there doing things together, you wouldn't mind. So it's not what the illness is the effect of it on the relationship that you would want. And again, because it was a new relationship, you were just young, you can't expect much from yourself. But if it was like, 5, 6, 10 years relationship, well, then you would have, that wouldn't be cool, for sure. All right, let's go to Nicholas. Says, why is it different to have sex with a random girl and the girl that you want? Well, because with the random girl, you don't have that emotional connection. You don't have that infatuation. You don't have that admiration. You don't consider that an amazing thing over and above mechanical sex. You have a pretty much all into it, making love, adoring, and appreciating it thoroughly, not just the mechanical pleasure of it, but the whole ambience of the exchange of energy and the emotions and the bonding on that moment, which is an amazing feeling in that case. Nothing that doesn't have the appropriate emotion in it would be as amazing as when it does have the appropriate emotion along with that activity. Nicholas's pleasure, intimacy are there in both cases. Yeah, but that's the pleasure, intimacy physically, not emotional. There's another pleasure, and that is emotional pleasure. The physical pleasure and intimacy is one aspect of it, but then the mental and psychological pleasure that is added to it based on the availability of the emotions, necessary emotion connection and exchange of that emotion, that brings it to a whole different level. So that is not exactly the same at all. Wolf says, a male 25 and well from the now independent United Kingdom. Independent United Kingdom. Yeah, they left the European Union. Steven says, I see so many co-workers of mine cheating and then go home to their significant other. It bothers me seeing the way people are. Well, it shouldn't bother you the way people are. It should only concern you the way you are, and live the way you like, and find someone who would share that view. If you want to be bothered by the way people behave, you will be bothered with so many things from the moment you wake up. Focus on your own life and on your own relationships. I know what you're saying, but that's how it is. So choose better, select better. That should sharpen you up and expect more, and research better before you commit. Sanya Singh says 30 female. It's 3:35 a.m. here. Where is here? That must be India, is it? That's the time difference, 13 hours. Just wake up to study. Came here just to say good morning. Good morning, dear. Says you're very, very good. Thanks for sharing your experiences, knowledge, and wisdom. Thank you. So you're quite welcome, dear Sanya. Wish you have a wonderful day and success in whatever endeavor you're whatever you're trying to accomplish. Lady Martini says, yes, that's true. I want to think that I made good decision for me because I didn't know how to help him and it made me miserable. I want to think that I kind of helped him because I let him focus on it and gave him time alone how he wanted. Thank you for your answer. And Sonia says, yes, India. Okay, great. All right, guys, looks like we went almost 1 hour over the number that we wanted. There's 19 of us here. Please do click on like if you wouldn't mind. We still need to be recognized by YouTube, and the more like we have. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And if you didn't hear me last time, plug my channel. Well, we are a channel talking about thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego, mechanical process, order, material process, pleasure, everything else, and the breakups, relationships, and divorces, and so on and so forth. If we have over 1,600 videos on this channel, we have about 500 live talks. Each live talk has maybe 10, 20 questions answered, which makes it another 10,000 separate videos if we were going to separate them all. So we have lots of support here for you. They're all free. Live talks are free. If these videos were not enough, if the live talks were not enough, you can go on my site, mind@6truth.com, and click on Talk to Mehran via Skype. We will explore your situation together, one-on-one on Skype. And if you get a 1 hour appointment, I will throw in another hour for free, and you will have 2 hours to begin with, which is plenty of time for us to explore why you feel the way you do and how you can move on and talk about the challenges that you see ahead of you. Of course, the books involved there, you can look at the site and see if you want to get them in paper or ebook. And at the same time, if it's paper, I'll sign it for you and send it. Shipping is included. And of course, ebooks are 1/10 of the price, the same book, same pages and everything, and immediate download. And if you guys did purchase the ebook and if it didn't download properly, it could be a glitch on my links. Just send me an email. We'll send you the ebooks right away by a return email. But that glitch has been fixed because my wonderful programmer from UK, a wonderful subscriber who does that for the goodness of his heart, has fixed that problem, which we had already created in the site. So, and there are other things on the site that is supportive, and you can use it and check it out, roam around it, and find out what the site is all about. All right. And of course, please share the videos on your social media, share it on any kind of platform that you talk about it, and maybe your local newspaper, radio, or television, or I don't know, school paper, school radio channel, and have them to, talk about us. Perhaps they're interested to do an interview about our channel, which I would gladly accommodate them. Now, having plugged that on, let's go back to see how many more questions we have. It's time for me to mosey on out and get on with other things, and you guys get on with other stuff that you have to do. So Steven says, thanks, Mehran. Enjoy the live chat. Adios. Okay, yeah, that means you guys got it. That it's time for me to go. Nicholas says, you missed Wall of Sparta's question. Did I? Nicholas, did I? No, you said last one says, haha, I'm male 25 from independent United Kingdom. And Wolf says, how do we break the chain of the programming? I feel angry after 4 years with my ex-girlfriend, and after I met her last year, and she now is living with the guy she cheated on me with and his wife. Are you talking about the Japanese girl? Am I hearing it right? Is that the one that is that the same case? Because I remember somebody had the Japanese girlfriend in UK and she left and then became a mistress of some guy who's married and living all three of them together, which is quite weird. Is that the one? Well, if that's the case, or even if it's not that case, your last sentence is your answer. That the girlfriend and my ex-girlfriend, and after I met her last year, and she now is living with the guy she cheated on me with and his wife. That means that characteristics, that behavior puts her in an unqualified segment of your life. That means she's not qualified to be with you. She's not qualified to be your girlfriend. You should not approve of her. You should not consider her qualified. You should disqualify her. Not the fact that she left me. No, you gotta say, God damn it, hallelujah, she left me and I'm glad, because that kind of a character has got no place in my life. This is your answer, rather than moaning and groaning that she did this. Why are you angry? You gotta go count your stars that such a garbage is out of your life. Simple. What's there to say? Are you telling me, no, I like to put up with shit, I like that? No. You can see whatever she did is just abnormal and not to your liking, not to your standards, and then have respect for yourself, and then disqualify her and move on. That's your answer. Very short and very quick, and I hope you get the gist of it. So now, having said all that, I want to thank you guys for giving me an opportunity to be here, and love you all. Thank you for letting me share a thing or two with you. I look forward to talk to you again. I don't know when, maybe tomorrow, maybe not. Depends on my schedule. However, I look forward to talk to you again. In the meantime, be good to yourself, to the others, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.